Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. So guys, the Apple Watch Ultra just finally arrived, and if you've seen my previous video, you know how excited I've been about this watch. So let's have a look at this bad boy. Let's ramble.
Hold up, face go wild when I pull up. They all on me like they want some.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again. And if you're new here, I'm Patrick, and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So like I said in the intro, I've been eagerly waiting for this Ultra to be delivered to my doorstep today. And if you've seen my previous video about the Ultra, you know why. When I was watching the September Apple event, I was mainly there for the iPhone 14 lineup. I knew the Apple Watch Series 8 was going to be presented, as well as a new Apple Watch SE, but since those are generally incremental upgrades and I'm getting by just fine on my current Apple Watch SE, I wasn't really that interested. But then Apple threw us a complete curveball with the Apple Watch Ultra. There had been some rumors about an Apple Watch Pro potentially being presented, but I don't think anyone expected something like this Apple Watch Ultra. Between the lackluster upgrades to the SE and the Series 8, and the iPhone upgrade that was so boring it might as well be the iPhone 13s, the Watch Ultra was the only real new device presented at the Apple event, and I was very, very intrigued by it. So much so that I forgot all about the iPhone 14. The funny thing is that I had a very similar experience at last year's September event when Apple, out of nowhere, presented the iPad Mini 6, again, making me forget all about the iPhone. And I was right, because to this day, the iPad Mini 6 is my favorite iPad by far. It's the one I use the most every single day. So yeah, enough story time for now. You get what I'm saying. I'm hyped. So the first thing I noticed is that this box is a lot larger than the regular Apple Watch box. I brought the box for the Apple Watch SE just for reference. Full disclosure, this is my girlfriend's. Obviously, I'm not wearing any rose gold, but I couldn't find my own box, so this is what we got. So this box is definitely different. The Apple Watch logo is embossed on what seems to be recycled paper. It does have the familiar flaps, so let's open it up. All right, so the inside is definitely not the same. Apple really wants you to know that this watch is for hardcore mountaineers and other cool explorer types. Well, I respectfully disagree, and I'll explain why that is later on in the video. It comes with an entire brochure, it seems. I'm not sure what the point is there. What happened to Let's Save the Planet, Apple? Watch and strap come in separate boxes, and I'm kind of happy to see that because I had to order the Ultra with a small watch band because it was the only combination that was still available for delivery on the 23rd. Obviously, I wanted to review this watch for you guys ASAP, so I grabbed what I could get, but with a bit of luck, I might be able to return this band and get a larger one instead. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to close this, to be honest, but we'll see. Now, I did actually mean to order the orange band, even if there had been other options. I think it looks great. It suits the flashy, bulky look of the watch itself. And of course, I'm Dutch, and that means I have to love orange or they will take my passport. All right, let's open up the actual watch. I'm actually legit excited for this. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I love that. The charging cable is braided, just like the new MacBook cables. Very nice touch. And here we got the watch. It is definitely a lot bigger than what I'm used to. I mean, the SE is very small, let's be honest. But this is big. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's have a look at the band. It's got some instructions here on how to apply it. I'm sure it's not going to be rocket science. All right. Actually, you know what? This feels a lot thinner than I expected. I really thought this was going to be a big rugged strap, but it's actually quite thin. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very thin. It's a bit stretchy, but it gives only a little bit. I don't know. We'll see if this fits. I do worry a bit how the orange might look over time since it's essentially fabric, but I guess time will tell. See what I did there? Anyway, I'll definitely order one of those ocean bands as well, either the blue one or the yellow, because they seem perfect for the gym as well. And hey, if it can handle the ocean, surely it can handle a bit of my lazy sweat. Right, enough talk. Let's try and put this thing on. Let's take this one off first. It's very small, isn't it? Look. Wow. And that one goes here. Now I'm gonna have to undo this and see if I can maybe fit that on my wrist. It's gonna be tight. We're gonna We're gonna try this. It has to work. Come on. Yeah, it doesn't look too great, but it works, kind of. All right, we'll deal with that later. Wow, it is definitely a lot bigger than my Apple Watch SE, which now looks absolutely tiny. Just to give you a bit of context, my wrist is 18 centimeters, which is about 7.1 inches. Now, this is by no means an upgraded Apple Watch. This is a complete redesign, and I'm here for it. I love the big orange action button. I love the big crown and the casing, which is very distinct. And I guess it's there to protect the crown and also the button from accidental pushes. And I can imagine that happening a bit quicker on a large watch like this. So it's good that they sank it into the frame. It's got this nice brushed titanium case. It has dual speakers and a 3-microphone array. And man, that ultra flat screen. I like that so much better than the rounded display. Funny thing is, I expected this thing to be much heavier, but it's actually quite light. I wouldn't even say it's much heavier than the SE, to be honest. Right, it's time to set this thing up and have a look at the actual display, which is not only quite a bit larger, but also much brighter. At 2000 nits, it is just as bright as the new iPhone 14 Pro at max brightness. And let me tell you, 2000 nits on a mobile device is insane. So now that we have such a big display on the Apple Watch Ultra, it's about time Apple gives us a web browser for it. Speaking of which, do you have your own website yet? And if not, what's keeping you? If you're a creative or any kind of professional for that matter, it's really important to build your own brand, and the easiest way to be found online is to create your own website. No idea how to do that? Squarespace is the perfect tool for you, trust me. I don't know the first thing about building websites, but when I put together my website using Squarespace 2 years ago, it literally took me a couple of hours from start to finish. You just pick one of Squarespace's awesome templates, depending on your business, and from there, you can customize it and really make it your own. You can create member areas, you can set up an online store, do email campaigns, you name it. My own website is definitely due for an update. I think I might actually do that this weekend. And I kid you not when I say that shooting new photos for the website will take more time than it does to update my actual website. It's that easy. So guys, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, make sure you go to squarespace.com/Rambles to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain using the code PatrickRambles. Right, back to the video. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the display, and the first thing I notice is exactly how bright it is. It is noticeably brighter than my Apple Watch SE. Also, I'm loving this watch face. It's an exclusive watch face specifically designed for the Ultra, which means it is not available on the standard Apple Watch. I'm going to show you guys my favorite analog watch that I've had for maybe 15, 20 years. I'm not even sure. And if you look at that watch face, you will understand why I like this one on the Ultra so much. As you can probably tell, I took the liberty of customizing this watch face with some of my favorite complications. By the way, I will be doing a video on the best apps and complications for this Apple Watch, so if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. One very cool little trick with this watch face is that when you turn the crown up, the entire display glows red, which should make it a lot easier to read in the dark and in low light situations. Now, this watch is obviously packed with specialist features, including the new dive features, and I will definitely dive a lot deeper into those for my full review, but those features are not the reason why I believe this watch will be tremendously popular with us regular Apple users as well. This watch is a massive improvement on the standard Apple Watch in every single way. Probably the most appealing one to most of us is the fact that the larger case allows also for a larger battery. The single biggest drawback of the Apple Watch for me has been the ridiculously short battery life. On days of intensive use, I sometimes struggle to even make it to the night. I would love to use my watch as a sleep tracker, but since I need to charge it every single night, that really wasn't an option. The Watch Ultra comes with 36 hours of battery life and up to 60 hours in low power mode. The bigger chassis also means there is now room for a second speaker, which improves the audio for voice calls, as well as a 3-microphone array, which should help reduce that noise and improve clarity. And that's relevant because every Watch Ultra comes with cellular. In fact, why don't we make a quick call to my buddy Mark from Mark Ellis Reviews and check out what it sounds like.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey Mark, what's up? I'm calling you from my new Apple Watch Ultra. How does it sound?
It sounds amazing. You just caught me climbing Everest.
Climbing Everest, right? Okay, so
I have you. I'm going to put you up to the mic because I think really crisp, but I just want to have my viewers listen. Yeah, well, I can confirm this side as well, Patrick. You sound beautifully crisp. It's like it's what I'd expect from the Apple Watch Ultra. It should sound this crisp, really, but I could handle this. I think this would work perfectly, no matter what you're doing with your running, walking, climbing, scuba diving. Not so sure about that, but yeah, you're crystal clear.
Yeah, agreed. So why don't you tell my viewers where they can find you? Do some cross promotion.
Oh, we've got to take the opportunity. Yeah, Mark Ellis Reviews. You'll find me everywhere, but yeah, Mark Ellis Reviews on YouTube.
Good. All right. Well, thanks for testing it with me.
Cheers, Patrick.
Cheers.
See you later.
I'm sure most of you already know Mark, but if you don't, check out his channel. He makes awesome tech content. I'll put a link in the description. I personally also appreciate the larger buttons and the crown, as we're now approaching colder weather again, and being able to use the watch wearing a pair of gloves will be very useful. Another feature I think will be extremely useful to a lot of us is the action button, as we will be able to customize it to do exactly what we want, like start a particular training or set intervals. Like I said, the display on the Ultra has a peak brightness of 2000 nits, which is double that of the Apple Watch Series 8. GPS performance has also been improved, which will be super useful if you live in a dense urban environment. The Ultra also comes with a siren, and while most of us probably won't find ourselves lost in the mountains, I can see this feature being useful for other things like personal safety in case of assault. Apparently, this thing gets really loud, so why don't we try it out? All right. That's pretty loud. But it's not just loud, it also has a certain frequency which carries it across a very long distance. So aside from the way it looks, the biggest gripe people seem to have with the Ultra is the price. And no doubt it is an expensive watch, especially if you live in Europe, where it's 999 euros, which is the equivalent of $1 basically. But if we compare it to the Series 8 with cellular, the price difference is $300. But that is for the cheapest edition, meaning the aluminum casing and one of the cheaper loops. If we compare it to the premium, the stainless steel version of the Series 8, the price difference becomes almost negligible. The Ultra comes with a premium $100 watch band, better GPS, better call quality, a better and brighter display, a tougher and lighter titanium casing, a programmable action button, and double the battery life. Those features alone could justify the higher price, and that is without mentioning any of the specialized sport features, like a compass that can actually allow you to backtrack your steps, and the fact that this watch is a freaking dive computer, which most decent dive computers alone will cost more than the Watch Ultra, and you get an Apple Watch. So what Apple did here, I believe, is quite genius. They created a specialist watch, they marketed it as a specialist watch, but they also made it a better overall Apple Watch so that we, the average consumers, are also interested. Guys, I'll spend a week, maybe two, with this watch, putting it through its paces, so be sure to check back for my full review. If you enjoyed the video, please give it one of these. It really does help the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.